The corridors of the Empress's palace stretched like veins through the colossal heart of the crystalline city. Every surface shimmered with a light that seemed alive, reflecting the soft iridescence of the alien moons outside. I had been summoned here under mysterious circumstances, and as a human, I felt the weight of every gaze from the guards and attendants who lined the halls. Yet nothing could have prepared me for what awaited in the central chamber. When the massive doors opened, the Empress herself appeared. Her presence was more overwhelming than I could have imagined. Towering, regal, with a crown that seemed fused from living light, she exuded authority and wisdom. Her eyes, multifaceted like polished gemstones, locked onto me, but then flicked past. Something or someone had caught her attention. There, standing timidly at the center of the chamber, were two children. Their hair glowed faintly in hues unfamiliar to my human perception, and their eyes carried an intelligence that was both eerie and captivating. For a moment, the Empress froze. "Are these my grandchildren?" she whispered, her voice trembling in disbelief. The beginning, a summons from the unknown. It all started a month ago. I had received an encrypted communication, a pattern of signals so complex that only someone with human intuition could interpret it. It wasn't addressed to me directly, yet somehow it led me here. The message spoke of lineage, of hidden connections between humanity and an alien civilization I had only read about in fringe scientific journals. When I arrived on the planet, I expected hostility, perhaps cautious negotiation. Instead, I was escorted with surprising deference to the Empress herself. She was ancient by alien standards, a figure whose life spanned centuries, yet her movements carried a grace that seemed almost inhuman. The palace itself was an architectural marvel. Gravity fields allowed objects and people to float, light refracted through crystal walls creating illusions of infinite space, and the very air seemed charged with energy. But none of it mattered. My attention was fixed on the Empress, who radiated a power so intense it was almost suffocating. Then the children appeared. The middle, unraveling the mystery. The Empress's guards and attendants took a cautious step back. She bent slightly, examining the children with a mix of curiosity and fear. I could see her mind racing. "These children, they carry the gene sequence of my line," she murmured, almost to herself. Impossible. I had thought my lineage ended decades ago. The elder child, a girl of perhaps 10 by human standards, stepped forward bravely. Her voice, melodic yet firm, addressed the Empress. "Grandmother, we are the result of the experiments you initiated before the exile." The words hit me like a meteor. Experiments? Exile? I realized then that the history I had read was incomplete. This was not just a political lineage, it was genetic, engineered across generations, blending human and alien DNA. The children were living proof of a collaboration and betrayal spanning centuries. The Empress's expression shifted from shock to contemplation. She studied each child's features, their gestures, the way they interacted. It was as if she were reading a living manuscript, each action revealing a story embedded in their DNA. "Human," she finally said, turning toward me. "Did you bring them here?" "Yes," I admitted, my voice barely steady. "They sought me. They said their lives depended on being reunited with you." Her gaze returned to the children. A tear, a strange, luminescent droplet, traced a path down her cheek. I thought I had lost my line forever. Yet here they are, my grandchildren. The conflict, unseen threats. But reunion did not bring peace. Word of the children's existence had traveled faster than any of us anticipated. Factions within the empire, some loyal, others greedy for power, began to stir. Assassins, spies, and rogue scientists all wanted control over the children's unique hybrid genetics. I watched as the Empress's guards formed an intricate defensive pattern around the chamber, the children at the center. Energy shields flared, projecting barriers I could only barely comprehend. The palace itself seemed to pulse in response, resonating with the genetic bond of the Empress to her grandchildren. "It seems," I said cautiously, "that bringing them here may have made them targets." She nodded, her eyes narrowing. "And yet," she replied, "this is where they belong. Blood cannot be denied. The galaxy will learn that my line is not so easily destroyed." Within hours, we faced the first attack. Rogue ships had breached the atmosphere. The Empress moved with supernatural speed, orchestrating the defense while keeping her eyes on the children. I realized then that her power was not merely political or genetic, it was a form of mastery over space and energy itself. I helped as best I could, using my human intuition to predict enemy tactics. Surprisingly, it worked. Our combined efforts, her ancient abilities, and my unpredictable human logic allowed us to repel the first wave. The Empress, usually stoic, finally addressed me directly. "Human, your presence is invaluable. Perhaps the galaxy underestimated what our union could achieve." I swallowed, realizing that this moment, standing amid an alien battle, marked a turning point, not just for me, but for the future of her lineage. The resolution, acceptance, and hope. After the attack subsided, the Empress summoned the children. She knelt to be at their level, her form radiating warmth and authority simultaneously. "You are my grandchildren," she said gently, "and though your path has been fraught with danger, you are part of my legacy. You carry the knowledge and strength of our people, and now you will learn from me." The children beamed, a mixture of relief and pride glowing from them. The younger child, a boy, reached for my hand. "Thank you for bringing us here. We knew you would understand." I felt a strange sense of purpose. Humans often underestimate our place in the galaxy, but here, we had played a role in shaping an entire alien lineage. The Empress studied me with a newfound respect. "Perhaps," she said softly, "there is more for humans in this universe than you have ever imagined. You have proven yourself worthy." In the following weeks, I stayed in the palace, helping the Empress teach her grandchildren. They learned languages, histories, and even the subtle manipulation of energy that marked their heritage. I was no longer just a visitor. I had become a mentor, a protector, and a bridge between species. As the suns of the alien planet set, casting shimmering reflections through the crystalline palace, I looked at the Empress. She was no longer merely a figure of awe. She was family, a living testament to resilience, legacy, and hope. And her grandchildren, they were the promise of a future that I could scarcely have imagined. For the first time, I realized that human intuition, courage, and compassion could shape destinies even in the farthest reaches of space. And in that moment, I understood why the Empress had been stunned. The galaxy itself had conspired to bring together what had been lost for centuries, creating a story of unity, survival, and the enduring power of family.